Hey Ida, why are we here today?
To grab pork tailgating on this one.
Do you know where the pork comes from?
Grocery store.
From the grocery store, but how does it get to the grocery store? Yeah, that's right. But there's a few steps in between before we get pork from the grocery store and from pigs on the farm. Pork is the word we use to describe meat that comes from a pig. Some other names you might hear for pigs are swine or hog. Nowadays, most of the pigs used for meat are raised in indoor barns. And thanks to the advances in technologies, pig farmers are able to provide pigs with a great indoor environment with better environmental control, monitoring, and automatic feeding and temperature control systems. People sometimes say that pigs eat slop, but that is not true. They actually eat corn and soybean meal that the farmers give to them. This meal is a type of grain that has been ground into tiny pieces. Pigs usually spend about 6 months on the farm until they are big enough to be harvested. When an animal is ready to be harvested, it dies and is sent to the butcher to be turned into food for us to eat. When pork quality is measured in the lab, they are cut into 1-inch thick pork chops. Once they are cut, drip loss will be measured by taking a smaller sample from the whole pork chop. The weight of the samples are recorded immediately and then hanged for 24 hours in a refrigerator. Once the 24 hours passes, we reweigh the samples and check for weight loss, also known as drip loss. pH value of the pork is also measured to help us understand more about pork quality. By using a pH meter, we can tell what the pH value of the pork is. We hope it falls somewhere within the range of 5.3 to 6.2. We also look at the color of the pork itself. Color is important not only for quality of the pork, but also affects consumer appeal. Color measurements can be done by a trained person using a set of cards as standards. The higher the color grade means that the meat is darker in color and is usually of better quality. Color value can also be done by using a machine called a color meter. This machine will give us numbers that represent the color to help us judge if the pork is of good quality. Marbling is another quality factor we look at in pork. Marbling is tiny flecks of fat that are within the meat itself. We can measure marbling by comparing the meat to a set of cards that have pictures of the different ranges of fat we can see within the meat. Pork chops will be cooked to 65 degrees Celsius. Each chop will be weighed before and after cooking. This allows us to measure cooking loss, which tells us how much moisture we lost during cooking. Once cooking loss is measured, the chops will go through a shear force test to tell us how tough or tender our pork is. In this test, small pieces of the chops will be taken and run through a machine called the Warner-Bratzel shear force machine. This provides us with a number that relates to pork tenderness. Not only that, but with new technologies, we are able to do things we couldn't have done before, such as landing rockets and building robots to help us work. These technologies, such as automation and artificial intelligence, can be useful to the pork industry when evaluating pork quality. For example, our team at NDSU is developing a computer vision system and artificial intelligence to grade pork loins at an industrial environment. This computer system takes pictures of pork loins and tells us all about the quality of the product in real time. Within pork production, we want to be able to use both traditional methods and new technologies to continue to provide consistent, high quality, and delicious pork to consumers like us.